According to Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. Educator Richard Lapchick is considered a racial conscious of sports for his work to foster inclusion, empathy, and understanding through sporting events.
Richard Lapchick is a human rights activist and a pioneer for racial equality. He believes that sport can be an effective instrument of positive social change.
My father taught me when I was a young boy that a leader is somebody who stands up for justice and doesn't block its path. I understood that perhaps that was going to be my mission.
Richard Lapchick's a political science professor at Virginia Wesleyan College and the leader of a group that had planned to protest South Africa's apartheid policy at the upcoming Davis Cup match. Last night, after returning from Vanderbilt University, where the match will be held, Lapchick was beaten and cut by two masked men.
I was hospitalized for several days, and a lot of people were very angry that this had happened to me and thought that I was going to be angry. But for me, what it showed was that if people thought that whatever I was doing was worth stopping, then I must have been doing something that was important. I think when you see athletes and coaches and teams active in the community, out in the community, doing things that are uniting the community, those are the most powerful ways that we can bring about change. I think when I first started writing the Racial and Gender Report Card in the late 1980s, all of the commissioners thought I was a pain in the neck. Now all of the commissioners say that they use that as a vehicle to talk to their teams to say this is where we can improve. This is a baseline published annually that the commissioners and league offices use as a way to affect change at the team level. The Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sport, or as it's commonly called, TIDES, are to publish 24 research studies every year highlighting the racial and gender hiring practices in professional sport, graduation rates among the so-called revenue sports at the college level. Our goal is to increase those graduation rates when we publish schools that are doing well, to reward them when they're not doing well. All of our programs are built on the capacity of athletes to be role models, but we train them to deliver socially significant messages in the areas of diversity, in the areas of men's violence against women, and the conflict resolution. As an activist in the area of sport and society, you have to be an optimist. You wouldn't be an activist if you didn't think social change was going to come about. Is it going to happen right away? I worked in the anti-apartheid movement for 25 years before I was there that day in the audience when Nelson Mandela was inaugurated. There I was watching this man who had been a prisoner for 27 years become the president of what had been the most racist system of government in the history of the second half of the 20th century.